Morning, everyone. Just thought I'd do a quick market scan for you, and let's get straight into it. Today, we are looking at Bitcoin here on the 4 hourly chart, and what I'm seeing is this massive M formation. This here is up and it's down and it's up and potentially it's down. So what I'm looking for in this instance is the rejection to take hold. At the moment, if we zoom out on the weekly, you can see that that's a lot clearer. The M formation, it may not come down this far. That's just me being silly, but it may come down and hit this area here and reject. So effectively at the moment, we don't have a bottom on the zone, and we're kind of speculating. We do have a top in that the top has touched several times here, here, here and here. So the zone at the top where the traders are trapped is evident from the all-time high down to around this area here. If we zoom left, you can see that the all-time high previously set was around this area here. So that's why there's hesitation over here. And seemingly, it could be a reversal pattern. We may have hit the top on Bitcoin. I highly doubt it. I think that we probably will come up again. But at the moment, that could be the play in that we're coming down. We also have these, I guess you'd call it the wicks to the upside. That is causing some doubt in the trader's mind at the moment as well. Going down to a daily time frame, we have this setup where we have this tiny little level of support around 67,000. While ever we stay up there, we are bullish. So at the moment, I'm not saying to go short. What I'm saying is this could range in this area for a little while and go out, but it could also range and come down as well. So it's mindful trading at the moment, something to be considerate of what's going on in the mindset of the trader. And the answer is we're close to all-time high. There's a stack of news this week. So have a look at all the news this week. So proceed with caution. So this is forexfactory.com, a nice little website. You can go in and change the filters that you have set. I tend to take off Australian, Canadian kind of news purely because it doesn't have a massive impact. And these red and orange news events are significant and potentially can change the price. So be mindful of that. So that's here. We're still bouncing or above, some pretty significant. This is the 20 EMA on a weekly. This is the 50. So there's lots and lots and lots of room to move. So I'm thinking that potentially we may come down, hit this EMA, and if it rejects off that EMA, it could be quite a forceful move up. So something like this, coming down, hitting that EMA, boom, it forms this area here, it hesitates, and then it rejects and creates the new all-time high. Could be a play. Not real sure at the moment, but zooming out, you can see that Bitcoin's had a massive run down from 15,000 all the way up to here. It's not ridiculous that we may be coming down into a zone using Fibonacci, which is a tool that traders used. Using that, we may come down into, say, this area here, which would make sense for a bit of a cool-off period. I'm not saying that we're going to, but, there's potential for Bitcoin to fall, who knows where. So there's support through here, so around 40,000, but, we're looking at a move on Bitcoin from at the moment. Let's just say that it comes down. So there's a 3% move. There's a 12% move down to 60,000. So I wouldn't be surprised if it does come back to 60,000. So if you are in positions, it may be worth you just keeping an eye on the charts. I'm not saying to sell or anything like that, but we are looking for some sort of a move to come down. Look, going in and zooming in on the time frames that are smaller. So this is a 4 hourly chart. So each one of these candles is worth 4 hours of time. We've had this drop. So as a result of having this drop, we now hesitate through this area here. So personally, I am just waiting to see what happens out of this little box here. So this little box that's formed since the drop on the weekend, we have this here. So looking to see what it does coming out of there. If it goes up, I won't be kind of FOMOing in because it may be a fake out move. It may be a fake to the upside, collect a little bit more liquidity and come down. Could be a move to the downside in the opposite form. So I'll just be watching. Obviously, these news events are significant throughout the week. So it's always mindful. It usually happens around 10:30 p.m. if you're on the Australian Eastern Coastline. Moving on to Ethereum, it seems to have fallen out of this long-term, well, not long-term, but since the 1st of May, there's been an upward channel. It's fallen out of that now. So the Ethereum ETF push was here, in probably there as well. It's now settled. It's fallen. It's sitting under that level of support that came through here. So for me, I'm looking for potentially a drop down to around, maybe something in line with this, maybe around 3,400 for Ethereum. Again, I am just patiently waiting. So the best thing to do with the market when you're not sure is just simply to sit out, because you are not losing money if you're sitting out. And what you can do is you can just have a go at drawing some positions in for free. So a short position above the level of support, down to 3,400, looks like that. So there's a move on. It's a 3-to-1 trade roughly. So there's a position there, but it's a matter of waiting and seeing for me. The risk of a 3-to-1 is not worth the reward just right now as I record this, purely because it's just in no man's land. Sol was sitting around $1.87 only a little bit a month ago. So now it's down to around $1.58. Again, it's fallen down. However, it is sitting on a really long-term trend line. So you can see the length of this trend line going all the way back to October. Sitting there currently. Sorry about all the lines on this chart, but I like to trade Sol using the trend lines, and once they break, I just back out. So at the moment, there's no real trend line happening. Potentially, you could draw something like this, but for me, the trend is not decided. So just shifting over to a couple of extra ones. Dot, you can see how Dot formed this pattern, which was a falling wedge. Well, it was actually a bit of a rising wedge, but it was in a falling formation. So it fell and it fell through. So, look for these patterns. Consider that you can get, in it goes, and then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches and out. Sorry, I'm not an artist. And you can get the formations happening and you can trade accordingly. So yeah, everything kind of looks the same. Everything's kind of a bit bleak at the moment with respect to direction. No one really knows where it's going. You can look to draw trend lines and potentially find something. So you can see FTM there is just sitting on a trend. So looking at moves off trend lines and things like that at the moment is the best move. Try and find some sort of patterns. If you find anything, make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. But also, if you are looking for more support, or if you've got an opinion, make sure you throw something in the chat. All right, we'll see you guys shortly, and thanks very much.